Okay, so I think we can all agree that being a fan of this show is simply not for the weak. I mean, season 1 came out, we got absolute peak, and then we just had to anxiously wait for season 2, and it took so long. I still remember the wait to this day. It took so long for season 2 to come out. Then we finally got season 2, and we only got 4 episodes, and we had to go on a mid-season break, and then we got the last 4 episodes, and now we are at the end of season 2 and have to wait anxiously once again for season 3 after they delivered once again a phenomenal finale. I mean, guys, at this point, I feel like we just have to be, you know? Like, yeah? You think so? I mean, I just feel like we ourselves have to be invincible in order to just get through the pain of waiting for more of this phenomenal series. But while we wait, let's talk about what we experienced. Invincible Season 2 review. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, this is my review for Invincible Season 2, spoiler-free, because I'm just not really the spoiler talk kind of guy. I just really want to go over my overall thoughts on the series, what I thought, what I liked, what I didn't like, things like that. And I'm going to also chime in on the whole mid-season break debate, because I didn't necessarily get to voice my opinion on that, so I'm going to take the time now to do so. But to start this review off, I'm really just going to give my overall thoughts on just how I feel about Invincible up until this point. Necessarily what I mean is Season 1 and Season 2 have two, I wouldn't necessarily say drastic differences in tone or pacing, but they just have two different goals in mind. Like, Season 1 was definitely dealing with more of the enigma of who Omni-Man is, what is his goal, why the heck did he kill the Guardians, like necessarily what the hell is going on with Omni-Man, just what is his purpose in general. And that was like the whole thing surrounding Season 1, trying to find out just what the heck is going on and who Omni-Man actually is and what his actual goals are. And so that's kind of what was keeping Season 1 just being so intriguing, and also the fact that you kept getting introduced to completely crazy characters like Battle Beast and just so many other people, and you were really just getting introduced to how crazy this world was. And Season 1 did a phenomenal job of just introducing you, setting up a lot of stuff, and just getting you kind of in the swing of things for Invincible, for what this world truly is going to bring us. And Season 2 specifically was set on world building. They took everything that Season 1 brought you and they wanted to build upon that, but not so quickly to the point where we're just getting like intense, quick, high octane action every time. Like, I feel like Season 1, as far as the highs go, had a little bit more surprising highs. Like, of course, when Omni-Man killed the Guardians, and then, of course, at the end when Mark got the ever-living fuck beaten out of him by his father. It was just, there was a lot more moments in Season 1 that truly had our jaws on the floor. Season 2 has those moments as well. I feel like they're not as intense or as, you know, just as insane as Season 1 was, but Season 2 has a lot of those moments where they are truly just building upon what we saw in Season 1. They're truly taking the characters and developing them more. They're thoroughly fleshing them out, taking the time to draw out these storylines and truly get you to emulate with what is going on with each character. And I truly appreciate that. I'm not going to lie to you. I am a big fan of world building. I am a big fan of like rich storytelling when they actually want to take their time and truly present to you the things that they need to present the correct way. I am a big fan of that, and I feel like that's what Season 2 truly did. I feel like Season 2 truly took its time to walk you through truly what this show is trying to build up to. Like, I feel like Season 3 is going to be a lot more high octane, a lot more intensity, a lot more highs as far as like just intense moments. I feel like Season 3 is really going to pick it up as far as being like intense all the way through. But Season 2 had its moments, and I'll say this, once the mid-season finale happened, for me, my whole thought process on that is, when it comes to animation or animated projects in general, I feel like however much time animators need to take in order to give us the best product possible, please take your time. Like, that goes for Jujutsu Kaisen, that goes for Across the Spider-Verse, like for Across the Spider-Verse especially. Like, when you watch shows like these and you see just how much effort is put into not only the animation itself, but the voice acting performances and everything that they want to do to bring this show to life, when you truly see how much effort is put into that, you understand that it is probably going to take time to create something like this. Like, it's not just going to be something that you can just push out and, you know, people are going to complain about the quality of it at that point because these people didn't take their time. You want to take your time with something like this, which is why, for me, I wasn't like fully upset about the mid-season finale. Like, now that we got the last 4 episodes of the season, I feel like looking back on it and being able to watch this season as a whole, you'll get a whole different perspective. But as far as the people that were watching it live and actually had to wait through the mid-season finale, I feel like the last 4 episodes didn't necessarily like fully justify the fact that they quote unquote needed a mid-season break. But with the finale we just got, I'm not even complaining at this point because the voice acting was top tier. Stephen Ewing and I hope I'm saying his name right. Stephen Ewing and Sterling K. Brown as Angstrom. I don't know his last name, but Angstrom, the villain, the multiverse villain. That was absolutely spectacular. The voice acting going on in the finale specifically was absolutely tremendous. I mean, Angstrom wasn't even in the season as much as I thought he was going to be. He was announced as the main antagonist of the season, but he wasn't in it as much as I thought he was going to be. But Sterling K. Brown made the most of his time, and he made Angstrom, in the time that he was in the show, a very impactful character, especially on Mark. This is going to be a character that haunts Mark. It's going to be one that motivates Mark. It's going to be a character that sticks with Mark for the rest of this series. He's going to build upon this, and I absolutely loved what they delivered to us in the season finale. Now, I'll also say this. There are a lot of storylines that we had to keep up with in this season, especially due to the fact that, like I said, they're trying to flesh out a lot of these characters. Everything going on with Debbie, Sandra Oh, I absolutely loved. Everything about Debbie's character this season, I was absolutely in love with, especially with the fact that she went to the superhero. I'm necessarily going to call it it's like a superhero husband/wife anonymous group. I'm just going to call it that, the Superheroes Anonymous group. She went to that, and she's just truly trying to build upon everything that the last 20 plus years of her life has been. She's trying to make sense of all that. She's trying to heal from it. She's trying to grow from it. I absolutely loved everything that Debbie had to go through in this season, even when Mark brought back his brother and she's now had to raise her husband's other son. Debbie truly was one of the best character arcs in the season itself, aside from Mark, of course. But, you know, Debbie Grayson, shout out to Sandra Oh, because she did an absolutely amazing job. I absolutely loved what they did with Rex in this season. I thought that I really need more Rexplode. I would love it if they would give us like the way they gave us an Adam Eve special. I would love it if they gave us a Rexplode special, because I think that character is a lot more special than we are all. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody loves Rex just for the dickhead that he is, and honestly, there is like a softer side to him. But if we actually dig into his backstory, there's a lot more there that I feel like could just make for an incredible special before we get season 3. Overall, I absolutely love this season, man. Invincible knows what they're doing. They know what they want to do with this series. And honestly, even if some of the episodes, like for me, when we got like the second half of the season, a lot of people were trying to say that the mid-season finale killed the hype for this show, or the episodes aren't as special or as spectacular. Look, you guys got to understand that when you are experiencing something as special as what Invincible is trying to build, like, every single episode is not going to be edge of your seat type action. Like, there are going to be things that they need to build to. They are going to be things that they need to present so that they can show later on down the line. I mean, they do a very good job of presenting something maybe early on in the series, and then they just address it like later on. Like but it makes sense. It doesn't like throw off the storyline. It doesn't throw off the way that things are being told. They just know when to present things at the correct time, and they know the pacing that they want to present these things in. I love the way that they're doing this, man. They are truly doing a phenomenal job at telling this story, and Steven Yeun as Invincible, Mark Grayson, is going to be one of the best voice acting performances maybe of the decade by the time this is all said and done. I do know very minor details about what is going to occur in season 3, and I'm very excited to what that's going to build to. But as far as season 2 goes, J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man, I'm obsessed. J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man, I just loved everything about his character. That final line in the season finale, I think I miss my wife. Heartbreaking. And I just can't wait for more of what we are going to get. I loved Alan the alien. I loved his entire special. I also love the fact that, like I said, this season took the time to start building this world of Invincible. So we got introduced to a lot more Viltrumites. We got Viltrumite Steve Harvey. We got Anissa, who everybody is waiting on that very... I'm not going to call it a very special moment, but they're waiting on that moment to see. Like, I honestly, I didn't know if it was going to happen or not once she showed up in the series, but once she did, she made the impact she was supposed to, and we're all just waiting to see how they are going to adapt that comic book moment to the show. But Anissa showed up, we went crazy. They just do such a great job of introducing new characters and introducing the fact that the guy that put Alan back together, he was a Viltrumite. They're introducing what this war is, the Viltrumite's goals. I mean, and another theme that I absolutely loved throughout the entire season itself was Mark holding back. Mark not truly wanting to use his full strength and go fully at it because he doesn't want to be his father. I loved that inner battle that he was dealing with throughout the entire season. He's still going to be dealing with that to this day. And I think, once we get to season 3, it'll start to come very clear to him that he's going to have to, stop holding back at some point. But I absolutely loved him. And like I said, him and Sterling K. Brown in that finale was absolutely spectacular. And the adapted moment of "I thought you were stronger," it was absolutely exhilarating to see, and all at the same time it was heartbreaking, because you could just hear it in Steven Yeun's acting and in his voice that Mark does not want to do this. He does not want to kill. He does not want to be this quote-unquote villain that he's being perceived as in multiple different universes. And I absolutely loved every universe that they introduced us to. I thought they were all very creative. They were all very interesting. Loved the Batman reference. The Spider-Man thing was cool. The Agent Spider, blah, 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 whatever you want to call him. That was pretty cool. That was very dope ways to use the multiverse. But I thought, like I said, for a character that I thought was going to be in the season a lot more, Angstrom Strong, he was, I think his last name is Strong. I imagine so. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. So sorry. I just want to make sure I'm getting his right. Oh, Angstrom Levi. Yeah, I didn't think Strong was correct. Angstrom Levi. Everything that they did with his character, although he was probably in the entire season itself for 25 to maybe 30 minutes, if that, 35 minutes maybe at most, all of that time was used correctly. And you absolutely understand where his character is coming from. You understand his background. And like I said, the finale just did an amazing job at taking all the things that was presented to you about his character before, enhancing that, and just giving you enough to where you feel like you truly understand where this character is coming from and why he's doing what he's doing. And then just showing who Mark is in all these other universes. Just mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. I will say this. Okay. I understand everybody's been having their back and forth little gripe about Mark and Amber, or if Mark and Eve should be together. Look, for me, I felt like the Mark and Amber dynamic this season was kind of just more so of a distraction, but from everything else going on. I was kind of just feeling like every time Mark and Amber tried to make time for each other or address the fact that they don't have time for each other, it kind of just got in the way of a lot of other things. And of course, I've been kind of rooting for Mark and Eve to be together since the beginning of the series. And yes, I understand a lot of, first of all, it's just a lot of people on Twitter who just get upset over the dumbest things. Like, who cares if people are rooting for Mark and Eve to be together? That, like, this shit happens. When you watch TV, you're rooting for certain characters to be together, or you like their dynamic more than others. And me personally, I think Eve and Mark are a lot better. And in the finale, which I'm not going to get into crazy detail about what that presented, but the Mark and Eve stuff that happened in the finale was absolutely heartbreaking. I really wish Mark would have made a move, but I guess we have to wait and see if that is even going to occur. But the Mark and Amber stuff was kind of probably my least favorite part about this season. It just kind of felt like a distraction. I love Zazie Beetz. I like the fact that she's in the show, but it's just like anytime the Mark and Amber stuff came up, I'm just like, this is kind of the more least interesting part of this season. But I mean, it's over now, so we get on to the good stuff, I guess. Look, overall, as far as I'm concerned, while this Invincible finale may not have been the PTSD haunting beating assery of what Omni-Man did to Mark last season, this finale took everything that this season was building to, and it ended it in a way that is going to leave us absolutely just anxious for the next season. It leaves us with, honestly, I feel like this season is one that is going to be needed to be revisited quite a bit in order to truly understand what it's building to. I feel like now that we get to watch this season as a whole, we're going to be able to understand a bit more. We're going to be able to put the pieces together a bit more as to what things are leading to and why they did things a certain way. You get to really see this season in a different light now that you get to watch it straight through. But as far as I'm concerned, they did it again. The Invincible writers, Seth Rogen, everybody, the voice acting in this show, they did it again. And another thing that I do have to shout out about this show that is absolutely just spectacular is the way that they know how to make the deaths, or not the lack thereof, but the quote-unquote deaths in this show absolutely just haunting. And I'm talking about the Lizard League scene. Everybody knows about the Lizard League scene, or if you don't know about the Lizard League scene, it's fucked. It's absolutely ridiculous, but they know, Invincible just knows how to make certain death scenes just stay with you. Just haunting imagery completely just stay with you, or even like the sounds of certain things. And you know what I'm talking about, because hearing that girl get crushed inside that guy was just absolutely gross, but it was beautiful all at the same time. It was beautifully fucking disgusting, but Invincible, as far as I'm concerned, has done it again. It was an absolutely terrific finale. I cannot wait for season 3. Please let me know in the comments what you guys think of season 2, what you thought of the mid-season break, what you thought of just everything in general, season 1 and season 2. Let's get a conversation going in the comments below. Guys, thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.